Well, hello, this is Daniel John Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries, and this is my Sabbath podcast on this warm, late summer Sabbath day. And today, I just wanted to make a brief podcast, once again confirming the evidence that my prophecy from last year is once again true. If you go to my website, www.spiritandtorah.com, you will find in my second trilogy of articles, my second trilogy of articles, that I predicted that in 2011 the white horse would charge forth, and the white horse is mass deception flowing through mainstream Christianity. And a couple months ago, I made a podcast where I talked about Chrislam, the fusing of Christianity and Islam, as evidence that my prophecy was coming to pass. Well, I have even more evidence to present today that verifies my prophecy that mass deception is flowing through Christianity this year, 2011. And it's proof that the white horse is indeed charging forth, as I predicted it would this year. A good friend of mine passed along an email to me this morning and just sort of went over some various things that have come to light this week, some various headlines that I want to highlight here. First of all, she showed me this video from Fox News in which a priest from the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican, was interviewed. And he was talking about how the Pope and the bishops and the Roman Catholic Church at large, as well as mainstream Christianity, they are embracing the scientific possibility that there is extraterrestrial life. So scientists, of course, for the last several months, probably really starting in earnest last year, have been talking about the possibility that there are aliens out there, there are extraterrestrial life. And so the Catholic Church is just saying, hey, we're all for that. We think that that's definitely a possibility, and we're ready to embrace that truth. So they're trying to pride themselves on accepting science when, if you look back at their history, such as Galileo, they rejected science, so-called. So now they're accepting science. But this is really quite an amazing development and deception, because extraterrestrial life, aliens, if they do appear, of course they will not be aliens, they will be fallen angels, the Nephilim, as described in Genesis chapter 6. They will be sent to deceive the world. And if they do appear, will be part of the great delusion that Yahweh sends upon mankind for having not a love for the truth. So the Roman Catholic Church, once again, is just proving that it is ready to embrace this mass deception that the scientific community is sort of dabbling with. So that was the first major video that I watched. And then there's been some other stories that have sort of emerged over this last week. There was a show, 700 Club, with Pat Robertson, who is not a Catholic, he's an evangelical, but he was talking about how he sort of believed in evolution. He believed the world was millions and millions and millions of years old, which is complete nonsense. Scripture is very clear, according to the genealogical record, that the earth and the universe is only 6,000 years old, and there's a great deal of scientific evidence to back that up. But good old Pat Robertson is, basically part and parcel with the whole evolutionary nonsense. So you had Pat Robertson talking about the old age of the earth and believing in evolution. Then there was another headline that my friend sent me where it talked about how evangelicals are doubting the story of Adam and Eve. Yeah, they'll still read Adam and Eve, they'll still accept the book of Genesis, but they look at it as more of an allegory, as more of a kind of a trite story that talks about the beginning of the earth in more allegorical terms. But the fact that the Adam and Eve story is literal truth, no, they don't accept that anymore. So that's getting traction. And so it just seems like more and more evangelicals are questioning the Bible, are questioning scriptures. Last week I read a story where a bunch of scholars are getting together to sort of dissect the Bible, and what they're doing is they're looking at very old manuscripts that through the centuries have been rejected because they've been deemed as less reliable manuscripts. Because of their antiquity, these scholars are saying, well, maybe there's some validity to these manuscripts, and of course a lot of these manuscripts are at odds with what we have as the Bible today. So Just in this past week and a half, there have been just quite a few stories that have come out sort of showing how much deception is just flowing through mainstream Christianity right now. And it really is just kind of amazing to see. So once again, these stories are all proving my point that the white horse, as described in Revelation, that first seal, it has been broken. It has been charging forth in the year 2011. We have these stories I just went over, plus we have the Chrislam movement, which just started in 2011, which is sort of the fusing of Christianity and Islam. So there's just quite a few things that are happening, and it's just proving that basically what I talked about last year is sort of coming to pass. So keep your eyes open. Fully expecting and believing that sometime in the next 4 months, before the end of 2011, there's going to be another major economic turmoil like we saw in 2008, only it's going to be worse. And we're going to see the demise of the dollar and the crashing of the world economies. Just in case you don't know, back in 2008, there was a story in which it was said that over 20,000 American troops were going to be used to patrol the streets of America. And those 20,000 troops were going to be recalled from Iraq and all different parts of the world. And they're supposed to be in place by September of 2011. So it's very clear that the military and the leaders of this nation believe something majorly catastrophic is going to happen at some point from September 2011 forward. Whether that's a terrorist attack or a so-called terrorist attack or a economic collapse, really could be either one. So you really need to open your eyes. You need to wake up. The earthquake that rattled Washington, D.C. and the East Coast, that's just a warning. It's a warning, probably one of our last warnings. But you need to wake up. I mean, if you don't think that the dollar is about to collapse, and if you don't think we're about to experience major economic turmoil, and if you don't think we're in the last days, then you really have been living under a rock. So I hope this fires you up. I hope this wakes you up. And I hope also that you have a wonderfully relaxing and enjoyable summer Sabbath day. It's a beautiful day here in Portland, Oregon. The sun is out. It's the last few weeks of summer here. And it's a beautiful day to celebrate the Creator, to celebrate Yahshua, and to remember His Sabbath. So Yah bless you. Shalom. And may you have a wonderful, relaxing rest of your Sabbath and a great week next week as we prepare to endure these final years, awaiting with bated breath Yahshua's great and awesome return. All right, Shabbat Shalom, and Yah bless.